All right, so what it do, YouTube? What it do? What it do? What it do? So we're back with another video reaction. So basically, for those like we all saw last night, we saw the main event in Montreal at UFC 315 between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddelana, and now we're going to react to this video here that uh, give a that gives a kind of gives a review of what happened. So yeah, let's check it out.
And Jack Della Maddelana is the new welterweight champion. Just like that. What amazing striking skills from this guy, man. And we are now going to get the Islam welterweight title fight. But before we get there, let's talk about this Belal fight because it was by far the most exciting Belal fight ever. Where both guys struck for the most of it.
I wouldn't
Jack
say ever, but
very good takedown defense
it was very exciting.
better than ever. Of course, going up against the best wrestler he's ever fought, he improved that defense to the level that it needed to be. But Belal didn't shoot as many takedowns as we thought he was going to. He started to commit to the takedowns in the 4th and 5th rounds, not in the 1st and 2nd. And when he was talking to his coaches after the 3rd round, I believe, he told his coaches that Jack is way too slippery to get a takedown on. I think it's also because he did wait so long to commit to them. For the 1st and 2nd rounds, he decided to stand up with Jack, strike with him, and he did land some really good shots. He did much better in the striking than a lot of us expected that he would. But at the same time,
I mean, you gotta give credit to Bilal. He has some hands. I mean, because I remember he said that, oh, I have the hands, just like Canelo, and people were clowning him. But in his last fight against Leon, he was able to clip Leon a couple times, and he did it also in that fight. So, big shout out to Bilal. Big shout out to Bilal, man. He's a warrior.
Whereas Jack, on the other hand, was ready for the takedowns, was ready to strike with him, prepared wherever the fight was going to go.
Yo, Jack is really tough.
Jack is the welterweight champion. He showed the fight IQ, the skill, the composure, the grit, and still had that killer instinct, trying to get the finish whenever the opening presented itself. And we'll go through a lot of those moments, man, because Jack was performing at such a high technical level. I can't wait to get into it. So, like here, for an example, in the 1st round, from the orthodox stance, he throws the classic 1-2. Jab straight, but with an offbeat tempo. He throws the jab at a certain speed and then slows down, ducks afterward, which is something he did throughout the entire fight. Whenever he threw the jab, he wanted to duck under. He did this for multiple different reasons, but in this one, also changing the tempo of his punches. So it makes it harder to time for Belal. But also when he ducks, he's trying to meet a potential takedown from Belal. He did this many times.
Also,
and when he goes
a thing that I kind of noticed that worked for Jack, but I didn't work for Leon, is that in the fight between Belal and Leon, I noticed that like in the beginning of each round, Belal was able to take the center of the octagon against Leon and then pushed him against the fence, and then he was able to wrestle with him. But with Jack, I think Jack was kind of aware of that, so in that fight he really like stayed in the middle, in the center of the octagon, and he tried to avoid the fences, because he knows that if he gets there, it's showtime for Belal. So yeah, I mean Jack has definitely some fight IQ.
Left hand, Jack ducks under it, and Belal tries to follow up with the right hook, which Jack leans and fades away.
It's really solid.
Back to the center of the
solid striker.
And Jack's footwork was way better than ever before. He's always known to be somewhat of a plotter, not moving his feet too much, kind of just walking the opponent down. But in this fight, it was multi-dimensional, man. He was moving in all different angles, plotting in moments when he needed to, and moving rapidly when he needed to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was,
or to create angles for himself, or just to get at a safe distance after throwing his combination.
That man was moving, man. He has some really good footwork.
Forward, Belal is closer to the fence, and the feint is to see which direction Belal will move as a reaction to it. So Belal moves out to the right, and Jack knows to cut him off with the left hook to line him up for the right straight. Perfect shot from Jack. He also does this combination, which is very interesting because it looked like it was just a round kick, but actually it was a question mark kick off the lead leg, which he follows up with a left straight afterwards. So notice how he brings his knee up the center, then rotates it above. Belal's left hand is too low. He thought it was going to be a body kick, probably because the knee coming up the center like that, but he does block it with one hand, and the power of the kick can still go through.
Man, Jack is really technical. Jack
Jack is still
is
able to
really
precisely
technical.
land the left straight as Belal leans away from the follow-up right hook, showing Belal's chin. Very durable.
But
he took some huge shots throughout this fight,
during the fight, I think it was in the
Jack, so he moves to the center and raises
I think
his
it was in
right
the
knee
5th
up.
round
So
or 4th round. I don't remember, but he clipped Belal, and Belal was really really hurt. He had a lot of blood in his face, and I felt like he could have ended the fight right now if he was able to, but for some reason he decided to clinch, which I didn't really understood, but whatever. He got the W.
Positioning himself in place. He's on one foot and can't move anywhere. Belal fires that jab, think it's gonna land on his immobile target, and Jack was still able to slip his head on the inside of the jab, evading the punch while on one foot, and counters over.
But so far in
Belal
2025,
again showing a very good chin.
I would
fires
say
the right hand forward, which Jack slips on the outside of as he's.
So far in 2025, I would say with all the fight that we've seen, we're in May, almost June. This fight is easily in the top 3. And at first, I would put Merab against what's his name, Umar Nurmagomedov, and then I will put that in the second place. But we're still in May, so it's kind of a little bit early to say that. We still have some big fight that's coming up. We have the Merab versus O'Malley Part 2. We have Dustin Poirier against Max Holloway, and now we might have Ilya against Charles. So I'm saying this, but it's really early. My statement is probably gonna change later in the year. So yeah. Oh, sorry.
He's switching stances away from Belal, so it's like one big step back while slipping on the punch, and then he leans away from Belal's back fist afterward. The defense of Jack is insane, man. Then in this moment, Jack is reaching forward with his lead hand, using it as a bait so Belal's attention stays on it. So he brings it forward, pulls it back, and then brings it forward again. Belal looks to parry it downward, biting on the bait, and Jack uses that to distract Belal as he goes forward, showing his right hand. But that is also a feint. Belal starts moving away, brings his left hand down to parry that punch, so he misses 2 parries, one from the right hand, one with the left. And when Jack moves his right shoulder forward, not only is he faking the right straight, but also he's generating more momentum into the left hook. So he's gonna lunge forward with the left hook. He sees that Belal's right hand is up, and he throws the punch around it, connecting on Belal's temple. He plants and throws the right straight. It's hard to see if the punch actually lands, but then Belal fires forward.
Jack is really that guy.
Jack ducks under and fades away from, showing great footwork in that exchange. Now,
Jack is really that guy. I cannot wait to see the fight between Jack and Islam. I'm really
Jack was just able to rotate back
interested to
the
see
center.
how Jack is gonna.
Belal may have felt overconfident in the striking against Jack.
Is going to fight against Islam. What tactics?
And it looked like in the
What
first round,
what tactics
he's
going to
like that until it proved to be a lot more
use
difficult
to apply against
JDM.
Islam.
So here Belal throws a jab forward and he lands his right straight as Jack is leaning away. The jab is going to cause Jack to move on the straight line so the longer right straight can connect at the end of it. But Belal follows up with that punch by switching stances forward, feinting with his left hand, and Jack switches stances as well, so now he's in southpaw, and he's looking to throw his check right hook, countering Belal's aggression. But notice how Belal attacked up high first. Jack was still able to precisely land on the side of the head of Belal as he's level changing for the takedown. Jack was still able to anticipate the takedown after getting hit by the right hand. So not only does he land the right hook, but also defends the takedown. You can see how he's trying to land those underhooks, but Belal crashes him into the fence, works on the takedown, and
that's really cold. That strategy. Belal did something in that fight, like he was what did he do? He tried to come with a solid right hand, but then he kind of faked it, and then he was going to the takedown. That was kind of dope. That was kind of dope. It was a cool move. I remember. I think Khabib used that strategy against Conor. I don't know if you remember the fight, but yeah. Khabib used that strategy. He was kind of faking to go for a takedown, but he was able to connect his right hand to Conor's face. So yeah, That's a cold move.
It's still a better position for
But
Belal
man,
because
Jack
he starts to land
is a
strikes from the
takedown
clinch,
defense,
and one of the
man.
better successes that he
Woo!
had throughout the fight. So Jack throws a knee, Belal throws an elbow. Both fighters miss, but because it takes longer to retract the knee, Belal was able to follow up with a left straight, letting it flush on Jack. And throughout the fight as well, you do see Jack start swaying his head around, constantly moving his head in place. He did this a few times throughout the fight, and it did lead Belal to start throwing up head kicks. The swaying of the head, also when Jack jabs and ducks after. This does open up the head kick, and at one point in the fight, in the second round, Belal lands a head kick as Jack leans into it, shin to the face, and what was perhaps the biggest shot from Belal throughout the entire fight.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Jack took that shot and didn't get knocked out, didn't get dropped. He still continued the fight. And actually, after that, he still did a whole jab and ducking after that. After taking a head kick, he does not detour away from his game plan. And here's some more defensive work from Jack. He goes forward and throws a left hook, lining up Belal for the right straight, lands the punch flush. Belal takes it again, eats the shot and returns fire. Throws a jab.
I'm really surprised that
again,
there was no knockdown in that fight because, man, those guys really went at it.
Defending shots inside of an exchange. Like here as well, he throws a jab which Belal actually slips on the outside of. And he returns again with the 1-2. Throws a jab first, Jack ducks under it, then Belal fires out a right straight, very quickly in sequence. The combination is very fast. As you can see, his jab is still being retracted. It's not all the way back before he fires the right straight. His left hand is still kind of halfway out there. That's how quickly he falls up with the combination, and Jack is still able to slip away from it and fade out, resetting the fight once again. Here's a good moment from Belal. So Jack fires out the right straight. It's a punch he's landed throughout the fight, even from distance like that, but Belal is able to lean away from it and throw out the counter left kick to the body and lands a shot flush. Or what about this moment from both fighters? So Belal throws a jab, and Jack slips on the inside of the jab and immediately counters with the left straight, which Belal slips on the outside of, moves his head to the right, and counters with his own jab yet again. This time Jack slips on the outside of
that
it
was
and moves
really
out,
a
escaping
technical
that direction, which Belal
fight.
tries to intercept
Technical
him
fight.
with a left kick. The kick doesn't land
There was
flush.
no
It looks
wrestling.
like
They were
the fight
throwing
may have
hands. I
grazed
really
the
liked
body
it.
as Jack
I
moves out
really
that
liked
direction.
it.
Great defense from both fighters.
I really
Here,
liked
Jack
it.
moves
I know you
forward,
guys
after
like
leaning
to
with the
hate
right
on
hook,
Belal. Oh
lands a
yeah,
wide
it's
stance as he's moving away,
he's
and
boring,
Belal
da da
is
da.
expecting
But no,
distance.
that
He's
fight
able to
was
see the
very,
left straight
very
from Jack,
interesting.
getting his head on the outside of the punch, and then counters with his jab, and Jack
Solid
ducks under
fight.
the punch and sees the follow-up shot
So
from
far,
Belal because he's very quick to throw the right
top
straight
two,
after
top
the
three
jab,
best
as
fight
he's thrown before in the fight.
of 2025.
So Jack again raises his head above the right straight, while this time throwing the left hook. He's not going to just evade and escape the entire exchange like he did last time. There's a counter opportunity, so why not land a shot while disengaging? So he lands a left hook while evading the right straight, and then escapes the exchange, disengaging and resetting, in which Belal misses the left hook after. And just to point out, Belal did grab onto the shorts at the end of the third round when Jack was going for a takedown. Or what about this combination from Jack? So Belal is hand trapping and then he lets go of it to duck, so he's feinting low, but Jack fires the left straight forward, lands the punch, and falls up with the right hand as he's hopping forward into the parallel stance. Lands a shot flush, Belal eats it, lands his own left hook, slapping towards the top of the head of Jack, as it looks like Jack landed a left hook across the face, another left hand to the temple, and then rips a right hook to the body, focusing almost entirely
and
on
did y'all
offense
see
instead of
the
defense, where Belal was able to land his own punch, and
the
that gets
cut
Jack
that
to
Belal
disarm.
had
And look at
on
this
his upper
exchange,
lip?
and Belal's trying to get the single leg
I mean,
takedown.
bro,
But off of
it's
it,
like
starts throwing strikes
it's
against
up.
defense.
His
He throws
upper
a
lip
right
is
hook,
like
which Jack
cut
ducks
in
under.
half. I
He
mean,
throws another
bro,
right
that's
hook, which Jack
that
ducks
that,
under
that tells you
again,
how
as he
much
repositions
Jack is a really
parallel
good
against
striker.
defense,
To
and he
cut him
counters
like
Belal
that,
with the left hook. It's hard to see if Belal
man.
lands a right hand or a right elbow, but Jack unloads of the right hook, lands it around the guard as he hops.
You shout out to Jack Maddelana.
Weight and power into that right hook, which lands, and Belal just eats it again. He throws a left overhand, and Belal blocks it. So Belal looks to push away from Jack to separate them, create some distance in between, so Jack can't keep unloading with those hooks, which he still does. He lands a flush right hook after with all of his power, rotating his entire body with it to carry the momentum fully through, and Belal eats that shot too. I don't know how Belal is so durable like that. He just
Yo,
took
he's
that
really
shot to the temple
but Belal
and
has a
fired it
chin,
right
bro.
straight at Jack, which
Belal
evades,
has a chin.
leans
He
away
is
from it,
solid.
lands, and then counters
He has a chin.
Belal again, this time with the left straight. And
Bro, at
speaking of
some
eating
point, I really
shots,
thought that
is
Belal
for a
was going
takedown.
to
Jack
get knocked
has
out.
both of his hands on the floor, which means he's
So,
not a
which is
ground
why
and
I'm
pound
telling y'all that
Belal lands
I'm
a
surprised
kick
that
to the
there
head.
hasn't
He
been
has
any
very
knockdown
flexible
in
to
that
land
fight.
a powerful kick like this, but he does land with a shin to the head, and Jack was able to take that shot as well. The kick wasn't super fast. It didn't look like it had all the power.
Isn't that
to it, but
illegal?
Still, Jack is leaning down
He's in a vulnerable position.
It's still a powerful shot regardless. Another exchange where Jack throws the left hook, lines up the right straight, lands the punch, goes all the way through. He's punching through the target. Belal eats the shot and returns with a right hook, which again Jack is able to fade away from, resetting the fight. A very common exchange that happened throughout. And then in this exchange, Jack just fires out the left straight from distance, grazes a shot. Belal counters with a jab, which Jack leans away from. Then notice how he ducks to his left. So he's leaning to the left and hiding his left shoulder. So this is very similar to how Cody Garbrandt knocked out Rafael Sunsao. By leaning to that direction, you're hiding the shoulder. So it's hard for the opponent to time the punch. Which Jack fires out the left straight from that position, and Belal was not able to time it. Lands it flush to the face. Belal eats the shot, reaches with the left hand, as Jack is fading out and gets his head on the outside of the arm, touching the chin of Belal with his left hook. On the way out, the Belal steps to the left to face Jack, and he fires out the jab to intercept him. But while Jack is fading out, he slips his head on the inside of the punch. The guy's defense is insanely good. He lands the counter right hand. That's when Belal was able to tank the punch and land his own left, landing the shot flush. And in the 5th round, Belal is a lot more pressuring moving forward. He goes and throws a jab, which Jack.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, that fight is really the fight that
So he's not the one moving forward, and was still able to counter with a flying knee, landing it flush and cut open Belal on the left side.
In that fight, Belal really proved to us that, he can strike.
That is so
he can actually fight. He can throw hands. Because,
Jack
people were,
nearly every single
calling him boring for, oh yeah, you're always shooting for takedowns. You're always shooting for takedowns, but in that fight, he didn't shoot as much. He didn't shoot a lot of takedowns in that fight. He really was crap.
Jack is trying to reverse over, scramble out of the position.
He really threw hands in that fight.
Top position, start landing ground and pound shots. He did dig his fingers into the eye at least once, as Jack was holding on to Belal, not allowing him to posture up and land bigger ground and pound shots. But he was able to swell up Jack's right eye before Jack escaped. From the half guard position on the bottom, he just hip bumps Belal to the left and pushes away from him. Then he rises into a single leg to put Belal on the defensive and uses that to disengage, getting away from the fence and away from the wrestling entirely. And this is a pretty cool exchange where they're in the clinch and Belal throws a right elbow. Jack ducks under it and comes over the top with his own elbow. So he slips Belal's elbow and lands his own. Then he puts together the combination. After eating a jab,
bro, that's crazy.
It ducks under it and this is a pretty cool
exchange. He dug the elbow to throw his elbow. Bro, that's like a... That was a chest fight, man. That was a chest fight.
Then he puts together the combination. After eating a jab from Belal, he throws out the left straight, falls up with a lunging right hand, full body weight behind it, plants and then back steps at an angle, anticipating Belal to throw the right hook. Belal misses the punch, and there is a counter opening for Jack Della Maddelana. Lands a left hand flush on Belal, which stuns him. One of the biggest shots for Jack in the entire fight. He also lands this combination when Belal's up against the fence.
Yeah, at that moment.
Which gets Belal to drop his defenses.
Belal was hurt, but I didn't understand why he was going to...
And Jack throws the left straight.
Why was clinching with him?
Switches stances, falls up with a jab to the body while loading up his right hand. So it's another body-head combination to get Belal's defenses to drop. So that power right straight connects all the way through. Then as Jack is trying to get a takedown, Belal hits him with a lateral drop, takes Jack to the ground, and then at the end of the fight there was a cool moment where Jack has his hands down. He just walks forward. This would be like a cool editing sequence. He just walks forward with his hands down, and Belal throws a left hook, which Jack just rolls his head with. Rotates his head to the left. The puncher just misses, goes right past it. Then Jack throws the right jab into a left straight. Belal is able to defend both of them. Ducks under the
chest fight, baby.
Away from the left straight.
Chest fight.
The end of the breakdown. Absolutely insane fight. A lot of people, as did I, thought that Belal was going to be too much for Jack, and he proved all of us wrong. He's an exciting fighter. He's going to have a fight with Islam Makhachev, and I can't wait to talk about that fight too, because I think Jack
this is going to be an interesting fight
than Ilya is. I'm actually more excited for this fight than the Ilya Topuria fight, even though the Ilya fight
no. The Ilya Topuria fight would have been dope. I was actually rooting for Belal because I wanted to see that fight, but now it's not happening, so yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, but still, big shout out to Jack, man.
Is a lot more compelling, I think. He's a bigger fighter. He's bigger than Islam. He's a great striker. Has shown great takedown defense against Belal. Very good ability to scramble.
All right, so that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel.
To his feet. Yes.
And see you next time.